Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and assembled guests, and welcome to the WNOR Beatles Press Conference. Our special guest tonight is Louise Harrison Caldwell, the sister of Beatle George Harrison. I'm Tom Scott of the WNOR Good Guys, and manning the microphones in our audience are the other good guys of WNOR. There's Bob Dean, Don Bruce, Tom Sanders, and Doc Dooley.
Sandy Doucette from Maury High School, and I've read in a lot of magazines that the Dave Clark 5 and the Beatles are mortal enemies. Could you tell me if that's true or not?
Nonsense. Just publicity nonsense.
I'm Lynn White from Maury High School, and I'd like to know if the Beatles use hairspray.
No.
Do the Beatles use hairspray?
No, neither do I.
Celeste Robinson, Isonokum High School. I'd like to know, what do you attribute to the success of the Beatles? Their long hair or their beautiful
Oh, well,
singing?
it's got nothing to do with the long hair, really, I don't think, because I think their sound and their basic personalities, you know, their honesty with the public, I think has a lot more to do with their success than the fact that their hair is a little different.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
I'm Ricker from Little Junior High, and I would like to know who thought the title for the new Beatle movie?
Of this one?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know. All I heard was that that was the name of it. But they'd had other names, like the day the Clowns Collapsed was one name, and then they had Ringo's idea was Tomorrow Never Comes, and George's idea was Who Fell in My Porridge? But I don't think, you know, they could have written a title song around that.
Who Fell in My Porridge by the Beatles, heard first on WNOR, and Bob Dean is back there to forge.
Yes,
Bob?
we do. We have another young lady with a question, and what is your name and school?
I'm Linda Richardson from Craddock High School, and I'd like to know if George was hurt or if his car was badly damaged in his recent accident.
He hasn't had an accident recently. He had one last year, about in May, I think, or June, and the windshield of his car was smashed at that time, and the fenders were damaged a bit. But he wasn't hurt. He was, you know, just surprised, you know.
Thank you.
But
Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir, thank you.
My name is Linda Perkins, and I go to Maury High School. And I'd like to know, do you have any idea why Paul took up reading Good Housekeeping in Nassau?
Well, look, it was there in the bungalow, and it was about the only book that was there, because I know I sat and read through it as well.
Thank you. I'm Jenny Deal from Willard Junior High School, and I'd like to know if you've ever paid a visit to the Cavern Club, and if so, what is it like?
It's a dump, actually. Yes, I was there last April, and you know, it's just a dingy little cellar of a place, but it's got a great atmosphere. Of course, I wasn't in it when there was a concert on, you know, when there was a performance going on. It was just very quiet, you know, at that time. But it was, you know, just it had been an old wine cellar at one time, many hundreds of years ago, and they'd used it. It's shaped, you've probably seen pictures of it, where the roof is shaped, you know, in a curve, and it makes the acoustics very good. But of course, it is just a, you know, an old place.
A dump.
My name is Alan Hawks from Kellam High School. Ms. Caldwell, would you tell us something about yourself, where you live, your children, and some things about your family life?
Well, I live in Illinois, right down in the south of Illinois, in a little town called Benton, and my husband is a designer. He designs mining machinery, special purpose mining machinery, and he's a Scotsman. We married in England. We met in Liverpool, married in England. We first of all came to Canada, where he worked in a gold mine, and then we went to South America for a while, and then we went back up to the very north of Quebec in Canada before coming down here. And we have two children, a little boy named Gordon, who will be 8 on the 12th of April, and Leslie is 5, my little girl. We have a dog called Sheba too.
From Honolulu.
Yeah. Oh, she's just over 100 pounds weight. She's a German Shepherd.
She's not so little.
No, she's
Wow.
not.
Thank you, Ms. Caldwell.
I guess that covers it.
I'm Margaret Rance from Maury High School, and I'd like to know if Ringo's really a picture-taking fiend as he is in A Hard Day's Night.
Oh, I think all of the boys are. You know, they like to get their cameras out, snap away at everything. Yes.
Thank you.
My name is Connie Barnum from Willard Junior High, and I would like to know your reaction of Ringo's marriage.
I thought it was great. I was very happy.
I broke out with this rash all over when I heard the news. Doc, go ahead there, Doc.
Okay, we have a gal back here who has kind of a British girl's haircut. Isn't that the way the girls wear their hair in Britain? At least Sandy Shaw does. Long hair down to her shoulders, which I like. May I have your name in school?
I'm Lori Hawk of Willard Junior High, and I'd like to know if John has a quick temper.
Well, I don't think so. Well, you know, I haven't experienced it, let's put it that way.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you know if Paul and George have any marriage plans?
Pardon?
Do you know if Paul and George have any marriage plans?
Paul and George. Oh, you mean Paul and Jane and George? Well, eventually, yes, but not immediately.
Thank you.
My name is Darling Johnson. I go to Indian River Junior High, and I'd like to know if Paul McCartney has a 20-year-old brother named Mike McGear.
Well, he did, but he's now 21.
Oh. Tom, go ahead there.
Didn't you have your hand up? You said you were at a Beatles performance?
Yes, sir.
Did you faint?
No.
You didn't faint.
No, I screamed, but I didn't faint.
Were you hoarse when it was over?
Almost.
I'll bet you were. What's your name, your school, and your question?
I don't have a question,
You
but...
don't have a question. All right. Somebody back here had their hand up. You?
My name is Peggy Rockwell and I go to Maury High School. And I'd like to know your comment on the interview with the Beatles written up in Playboy magazine.
I didn't read it.
Oh, thank you.
It's not one of my magazines.
I saw that issue, but I didn't read it either.
What's your name and your school?
Eileen Rickert from Willard Junior High, and I'd like to know if Ringo really is particular about his drums.
Oh, you mean with reference to that scene in the movie?
Yes, ma'am.
No, not in the way that scene was shown, no. But of course, he wouldn't want anybody putting his foot through them, you know.
Thank you.
My name is Alan Hawks from Floyd E. Kellum High School. Ms. Caldwell, I would like to know your opinion on the problem at schools and colleges with students wearing Beatle haircuts.
Yes, well, I think in general, you mean in this country or in Britain? In this country. Well, I think in general, the ones that I have seen on TV, I've seen a couple of them, and I honestly didn't see what the fuss was about because their hair was very, very moderate, very neat and tidy. And whilst I certainly would not approve of an extremely long hairstyle being used in school by a boy, the ones that I have seen, I really don't think were, you know, extreme or disgusting or dirty looking or anything.
I'm Jenny Dill from Willard Junior High, and the Liverpool sense of humor has been called different or odd and such. What do you think really makes a Liverpudlian and laugh real heartily?
Ooh, what?
A person from Liverpool, what makes him really laugh? What really gets him to laugh?
Well, anything that's funny. Generally.
You took one that laughed a lot. I think that's going to do it, Louise. It's been a pleasure having you as our special guest tonight. I know that we've all had a grand time. And once again, from the WNOR Good Guys, we'd like to thank you for your kind help in answering all the Beatle questions. And once again, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was nice of you to have me here.